Back to the Big Ten. Night game, prime time on ABC, 7:30 p.m. kickoff. Wisconsin at Ohio State. Wisconsin already has a loss to a Pac-12 school in Washington State and now find themselves an 18-point road underdog to the Buckeyes. Your thoughts on this one as we are looking at an over-under around 57.5 here?
It's another under I like. Again, it's another perfect storm of, do I trust Wisconsin to hold their weight and keep pace on offense? No, especially against Ohio State's defense that has shown to be extremely good so far. And, you know, Ohio State was held at 21 points against Notre Dame, who now looking back on it, their defense is still good, but they're not that top 5 team that Ohio State thought that they were playing, unless they just rattled their confidence still. You know, this number has gone up to 18. It was at 17.5. I'm probably not laying the points with Ohio State because I expect this to go under, and points are going to be kind of valuable there. We have a 19.25 implied team total for Wisconsin. If you want to bet under that, absolutely do so against Ohio State's pretty solid defense there. A couple of injuries, though, to note for Ohio State. Travion Henderson actually was banged up a little bit against Toledo, but he'll be ready to go for this game. But just keep an eye. Maybe he's on a snap count. I'm not terribly worried about it because Ohio State might actually be deeper at running back than they are at receiver, which is crazy to say. Mayan Williams will be able to just, bulldoze over Wisconsin. And also Jackson Smith and Jigba, they eased him back in last week. He had 2 receptions for 33 yards. They hung 77 on Toledo. They didn't really need him. Now, that 77 mark on Toledo is actually notable because Toledo's ranked 49th in defensive SP+, which is around the likes of Florida State, Texas Tech, and UCLA. So if you think Ohio State's going to, even in the ballpark, hang, say, 63, because you're going to account for the gap in talent between those teams, hang 63 on Florida State, Texas Tech, or UCLA, that's impressive. But Wisconsin's not that low. They're top 5 team in defensive SP+. But what killed them against Washington State was they had 106 penalty yards, and they had a couple of costly interceptions and turnovers. It was a mess. And they had a get-right game the next week. So I feel like they're on track, but I'm treating Wisconsin like they're a 3-0 team because they should have won. If you look at post-game win expectancy against Washington State, they probably should have won that game if they didn't shoot themselves in the foot all the time. But again, I like the under because I don't trust Wisconsin's offense to keep their pace, and I think that their defense is good enough to keep Ohio State from covering this whole thing by themselves.